Mm-hmm.
I can get out my accordion.
It's time for some Dungeons and Dreamforce!
Woo!
How's it going, everybody? We have people. We got a fifth one on the way. But that's a lot of kids. We've got some gaming goodness for you tonight. We also have terrible game as well, as is evidenced by these foul jokers I have hovering above my head. But they're generally nice people because they are Salesforce community members, and we are here to play some Dungeons and Dreamforce. Look how hype she is. She's so hype. She can't even have skin.
Can't even.
This is how the jokes are going to be all night. All right, everybody. So, first off, let's do a quick round of introduction, and then we have some donations to cover because we've raised the stakes, as it were. Oh my god, did you seriously put a donate tracker above your head? The cheap shill directly above me and to the left. That is...
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
That's
It's
also
awesome.
in character.
It is a character.
Oh my gosh.
The cheap shilling character directly above me is Brian Kwong, a.k.a. Kwongerific, a.k.a. Kriv, the Human Wizard. Right below him, that remainder of a human being that is there. If she unzipped it, you would see her heart. It's that big. That is Samantha Safin, a.k.a. Samantha Satan, a.k.a. Brunhilde, the Dwarven Ranger.
AKA Trailblazer.
A.k.a. Trailblazer.
With our trusty goat, Cloudy.
Above and to the right, that person remaining completely impassive despite all the shenanigans that are somehow happening all around us. That is Heather Palisari. You got it?
Closer.
Yay!
That worked.
AKA the Dragon Keeper, AKA that is adorable. We got to get a better shot of that. Can you hold that up? That is a cross between a dragon and what is it called? One of those things from Doctor Who, the fat creatures that like
The fat bellies?
No.
Yes,
The
Oh my god, why can't I think of it?
things. Adipose.
Adipose.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a cross between a dragon and an adipose. It's perfect. And she is Bakaru. Or Bakarayu. I can't remember. I can't keep it straight. The Dragonborn Paladin. Below her is this Master of Disaster. This purple-headed monstrosity. This is John Graff, a.k.a. What is it? Nerdforce John? Yeah?
Nerdforce John works.
Nerdforce John. Nerdforce John. A.k.a. Donatello, the half-elf monk. Half-orc monk. Big difference. Sorry. Was that offensive? I apologize. I called him a half-elf. That's terrible.
Friends of all types.
And hopefully in a moment we'll have the remaining member of our crew. We'll see if he can get in. He's having trouble still. The poor guy. And that will be Justice Sikakane. I think I got it right. But until then, this is who you got. I apologize.
Oh.
So, how y'all doing?
We are excited. I'm excited. I'm
Most
pumped.
excellent. Oh yeah! Got to roll some dice, yeah, brother. All right, so we have some donations to lead off. Our trusty helper in the background, Nana, could you please detail for us the donations that have been received in the interim?
Let's see. I guess I can maybe do that. Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Mark. I'm the unseen face.
Was it not enough? Sorry. I don't.
No, you're good. You're good. You're good.
I feel like I've screwed up somehow. And I don't know how.
Not
Because I'm a white male. I don't know how I screwed up.
You're all good. You're all good. I like being able to just sit back and
Okay.
tweet and gather the donations. So this is
Okay.
cool.
All right.
This is cool. So we've had 2 donations that weren't specifically mentioned in the previous episode.
Mm.
So one came actually prior to the previous episode, and we didn't actually get to it. It was a $200 donation sent by an anonymous donor, but the request was for Datatello, and it was for some sort of Egyptian magical item. So
Yeah, we'll get to that.
phenomenal.
Excellent.
And the second one that came in right before today's show from Christian, and I believe Christian is online with us today, which is
Woo!
awesome. Thank you so much. It is another $200 donation, and Mark, you can describe what he's requested.
Right, so he has requested some monk wraps, again for Donatello, who is apparently going to be hoarding this evening. So these are going to be a magic item from an outside source called Bracers of the Thunderer. We will get to that when we actually get up and running with the game and when he actually receives these. But we should get there all in due time. All in due time.
Regardless. Thank
now-
you guys. Thank you very much.
Please talk to us about, John, please talk to us about donating, how people can do it, and what they get for doing it.
Okay, wait.
Oh,
wait.
sorry.
We have
Yes.
had another donation that has come in
Woo!
while we were speaking.
Woo!
Nice
take a
way to
look at
start the
it.
night off, guys.
Yeah!
It is a $100 donation from Mr. Safe and Hold.
Oh!
But instead of donating directly to his spouse, he is providing everyone, he says, the team is short on good rolls versus short things. Re-rolls for everyone.
Yay!
Thank you.
Woo.
Yay! Thank you, honey.
Most excellent. Awesome. It was about to get real awkward here, but when I thought he was going to donate a magic item to somebody else. And I was like, it's going to be John.
The
Excuse me,
awkwardness
just one
is that the
second, I'll be
family
right
budget
back.
hasn't been discussed yet.
Right. All right. So now let's talk a bit about donations, right? Mr. Graff, can you have a talk about them, right?
Absolutely.
And there's a dog.
Absolutely. So we've been raising money for our for Extra Life for Kids. So I don't know if any of you have come across in your lifetime any children who have had to battle evil in reality. But if you do, it's just heartbreaking, and that's why we're coming here today, is to raise money for kids that have found themselves within the Children's Miracle Network. There are hospitals in every major city, and there are some great people doing great work there. And I talked to actually somebody at my own personal work. His son was recently born with his heart on the wrong side of the body, which involves a large amount of surgery.
I didn't even know that
for
was a
very
thing.
Small human being, yeah.
Oh.
And if Jeremy's watching tonight, kudos to you, because I know you have to be at work at 5 a.m. Good job. But he says that donations like what we're doing tonight helps out the families, especially because, you can get insurance to cover some medical procedures, but what they're not going to cover is for the family to drive from nowhere, Oklahoma, to the city and basically live there for 7 to 12 weeks, trying to stay close to their child and still be able to live their lives normally. So this would usually put in a playground near the hospital. It gives food to the family so they can just go into a kitchen in the hospital, make food anytime they need because they're hungry and they're just there. It brings gifts and toys and needed supplies to the children. Very, very useful stuff. So to make a donation to to our Extra Life for Kids event, you can go to our links, which can be provided perhaps in the chat, Miss Nana. I realize if I say them out loud, they don't always translate too well.
Absolutely do that.
Excellent. Making a donation there, and then put in the comment if you want to donate a reroll badge or a broken governor limit, which is a fun one. Allows you to break a rule and identify who you want to give that to. And at a certain level, you get a chance to actually start having a larger impact by donating magic items, where you may have heard. Apparently, I have some fantastic friends out there who are helping Dadatello, be the meat bag for this team. So that's one excellent way for you to help out some very, very brave children. And also, the other way you can help out is if you make it to Dreamforce. We'd love to have you come and watch our final round at not at Moscone. It's at the Marriott Marquis on Wednesday. So if you're going to be in San Francisco during Dreamforce, come watch us play live, and we'll have a fantastic time. Lunch provided by Aptus. Fantastic people who've helped us out second year in a row now. Way to go, Aptus. Huzzah.
Yes, thank you very much, Aptus. That's going to be a big help, and we'll get this off the ground. Actually, we'll get it closed. We'll get it brought to the ground. We're going to land this thing in Dreamforce. We're going to change the engine mid-flight, too. It's going to be crazy. But in the meantime, let's start with this. I would like everybody, as we're getting ready to start the game, please roll a D4. And this is going to... got one bad, one good. All right.
Oh, I had a 4. Oh,
yep.
Snap.
All right, these are luck points. These are things that will be used in the upcoming game. The players will be able to spend a good luck point at any point to make luck go their way, and I can spend bad luck points in order to make luck go not their way. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and change the scene. All right. Now, the party has arrived in town just in time for them to have some trouble, confront some trouble. They have been out. They work together typically. An operating team working for the Trailhead Expeditionary Forces, and they have returned to town, completing a mission, turning it in, as it were, turning in the quest to the quest giver. And they have come to the Master of Coffee, which is actually a coffee house that sells the best coffee and the best advice within the city of Moscone, headed by the Master of Coffee himself, or Master Coffee himself. And so, while there, as they were speaking to their handler for the Trailhead Expeditionary Forces, a group of dwarves came in somewhat belligerently and began to demand that the owner, the proprietor, serve alcohol, because they claimed that it was an affront to dwarfdom to have some kind of drinking establishment that did not serve ale. And obviously there's a little bit of ridiculousness to this statement, but they seemed very ardent and serious about the whole thing. And after a little bit of a throwdown, the leader of this gang stepped in, and it was a dwarf himself, but much larger, mostly due to the bulk that had been added to his frame. Large chunks of ore and metal looked to be implanted, grafted, and otherwise attached to his frame. A big chunk of ore actually sticking out of the top of his head. and one hand completely covered in metal plating, and basically came straight at Trailblazer, straight at Brunhilde, claiming that she was what I'm trying to remember what exactly he said. It wasn't good. You were the trouble. You were the problem.
He was not pleased with me. Apparently I'm a disgrace to my kind.
Right?
Super dishonorable.
Yeah.
And I'm a crime with my very existence.
Yes, exactly. That pretty much sums it up. How does that make you feel? No. All right. So, but after a battle with him, in which some rather decisive blows were dealt, who landed that blow?
Justice.
It was Justice. That's right. That's right. Flash, their rogue,
Flash.
basically dived in with both blades, his daggers drawn, and just drew them down. Dispatched him with a natural 20. And this guy's a first-time D&D player. Took down the bad guy with a natural 20. It was a great moment. So, after stepping over the remainder, the corpse, which now can't be interrogated, bravo, the party looks out over the city and sees, because the place where they're at is on a little bit of a rise. It's the building they're in is directly adjacent to the palace, and so it's on somewhat of a hill. It's risen above the rest of the city, so they have the ability. They look out over the city, which is immensely large, but they see amongst various places within the city fires dotting the landscape, plumes of great black smoke rising up, threatening to choke the sky. And this is where we are starting off. So,
Thought I left the stove on.
Oh no.
what do you do?
What do we do?
That's not good.
It's
Are the
not.
fires all coming from in one area, or is it like spread across?
Spread throughout the city. As far as you can see, dot, 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 dot.
Is there like, you said we're on a rise, so it's the low-lying area? Is there like some convenient reservoir that we could open the sluice and spread some water into the city?
The city is built by the sea. It's literally a dockside city. So there are a few areas like that, but not much. There are some recently built subterranean aqueducts, but they are very new.
Is there any pattern discernible of how the fires are?
Roll an investigation check, please. While he's doing that, is anybody else doing?
Still inside?
Yes, he is. He appears to be holding up some kind of a tiny. Actually, no. We'll say this. He appears to be holding his arm, kind of up here, and he's basically looks like he's doing something like touching, manipulating some controls on a bracer.
It was Omni Tool, obviously. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
And this is the south side of Moscone, right?
You guys are dead center.
Well, I mean, where the fires are, is it predominantly on the south, or is it?
Oh, that's a
surrounding the
good
entire-
question. You can step out and kind of look around, and it does appear to be like all throughout.
Oh, so much for renovation.
Yeah.
All right.
This
I
would
wrote
have taken
I
a
wrote a 13. Did I?
Okay.
Is that high enough to figure out any sort of pattern?
So the pattern that you can figure out is that there is no pattern other than that there seems to be an attempt to spread it out. This is not the sort of thing that happens accidentally or without great coordination. It is too far spread. There are too few The fires are not
this
all
is-
that large in and of themselves. They're not
This is no
rapidly.
accident.
Yeah.
From my knowledge of the city, can I look and spot any areas that are potentially putting more innocents in danger than others? I'm usually concerned about hospitals, orphanages, anything that's kid centered. Is there any spot that I notice that's more dangerous than the other?
Donatello, do you want to try to put out the fires, or do you want to catch the people setting the fires?
Where there's smoke, there's flame, right?
Well, in this case, it's clearly fire.
Don't hurt yourself.
Where there's smoke.
Why don't you roll, Donatello? And I apologize. In an intelligence check.
Look
With
at
it-
that.
Well, yeah, no, just roll. We'll see how this goes.
Boink.
14.
Hey.
All right. That's not bad. That's not bad. All right. So, there are. Let's see. Trying to think of places you would recognize. You didn't roll too high, so I'm not going to give you like everything. But I'll give you places that you would personally recognize.
Fair enough.
So there is, for one, there is the Temple District. There appears to be some kind of blaze going way far. It's pretty far, but it's one of the major kind of centers of worship of the various deities of this land. There's a lot of different temples, basically, throughout the streets, and all the various things that support them. So there is a blaze there. There is also a blaze in the one of the housing districts that you recognize.
Okay.
This would be it's a housing area, it's a residential area. That's what I was trying to think of. The neighborhood is known as Northern Aleside. And you know this very well because it is where you live, where you are not out on a mission. And it's also where your sister lives.
Oh, Ericool. It's been 2 years. Can you remind me how she's doing lately?
So, Ericool, of course, so previous people may not realize this. Ericool was Donatello's younger sister, who actually had disappeared many, many years back. It turned out that she had been taken and converted by some hags. And she was actually turned into one of them. She'd actually been captured as a very young child, but then when returned, kind of grew up to this and then disappeared. But Donatello was able to recover her, was able to somewhat kind of get back into her head who she was able to bring her to some healers who were able to kind of set her mostly right. So she's no longer a hag, but she's not like normal either. There's definitely visual signs that the healers say are never going to go away, that she has been disfigured, and she's not quite right yet either. She tries super hard. She tries to be a functioning member of society, and she's still quite intelligent. The way that she has trouble is more of her morality. It's not anything other than just like she has a tendency to like subconsciously try to get kids into ovens. Like it's a bit of a problem sometimes.
And this was the last year Mark was an MVP.
I am glad, and most of the community is probably glad that Ericool is no longer a hag.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that she was able to do okay. All right.
So she's actually recently been trying to convince you to bring her along on missions. She really wants to be helpful. And it's like, you're like, no, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Well, I mean, partially because you're worried about her.
Yeah, of course I am. I'm worried about her now. But guys, what are we gonna do here? I don't know what's going on.
Just wait. The Trailhead Expeditionary Force surely at this point is being called to action. Let's find out where they need help.
That's a good point.
I have a question. What temples are burning?
So you go look out, and I'll say you can immediately recognize the same area. The temple district is burning, and let's see. There are probably actually a couple. Let me. Dang it! I didn't actually pull up my list of deities. One moment while I get that pulled up.
Oh God.
Many gods, actually, not just one.
I hear they're all kind of mini hacks.
Wow!
Hey.
Wow!
No.
All right. So let's see. The Maker, Temple of the Maker, and yeah, sorry, Temple of the Storm.
They'll be playing for rain. It's okay.
I can't let my temple burn. I mean, there's lots of places we can figure out what's going on, but can we at least, try to put out some of the fires? I mean, you're a wizard, you need to do like rain or something.
I'm an evocation wizard. I can fight fire with more fire. Need me to burn down some buildings to create a fire
line?
block? I can do that.
No.
Yeah, more
What kind of
temples.
temple
Yeah.
would you rather have burnt down?
So, Brunhilde, what were you doing?
I'm gonna go find out what the Trailhead Expeditionary Forces are doing, because
Are you
we're being called to action.
Are you talking to your handler, or are you going to... Okay, so you go over to Burke.
Is all of this assessment time enough for us to do a considered a short rest for a hit dice and key replenishment? A
short rest would be a full hour, unless somebody wants to donate a governor limit, and then we'll make that. That'll be a valid rule breakage for a governor limit.
Fair enough, guys. We could use. I could use a short.
We'll make it a short rest if we can do that. All right. So, Brunhilde, you go up to Burke. What do you do? What do you say?
What's going on? Are there any reports?
He looks somewhat concerned. He suddenly looks up. No. He's trying to tap it. He pulls out some sort of like odd device, starts fiddling with the bracer, and he seems to be bothered. It's almost as if he's having trouble getting it to function correctly.
Okay.
Brunhilde, I'll say you of all people would know because of your background. You would have seen something like this before. Only the top TEF people have one of these. Well, not top, I guess more management, the handlers and things like that.
Let me guess. It's an Einstein bracer.
No. No, that's not where I was going with that. But nice try. I would let you do it, except I have something else for that later. So anyway, but no, it's just doesn't seem to be working.
Are you getting anything?
What? Oh.
We're gonna go.
We're
gonna go handle this.
Where? What do you mean?
The fires?
What fires?
Just gonna help him up, I think. Lead him to the door.
He's been totally engrossed in whatever was going on, so he has had no idea that anything was happening. And you lead him up, you point him towards the door, and he's like, oh, crap. Oh, crap. Oh. And he stops, and his eyes grow wide. And you can almost smell the hamster burning in the wheel. It's going so fast in his head. And,
Did you just say Burke has hamster for brain?
don't repeat that. And, so he,
Just to be clear, Burke's, that's Josh Burke?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You said that. I didn't say that. You said that. Anyway. All right, so he just pauses for a moment, dumbfounded, and then he says, they hit 14. All of the bracers go through 14. All right, this is bad. This is a coordinated attack of some kind. All right, what are you guys doing? Do you know? If you don't know, I'll give you something to do.
I'm
Yes.
going
Putting
wherever
up-
Trailblazer goes.
We have people who want to go to the Temple District. We have people who want to go check on their family.
Okay.
If you need us to do something, now's the time to tell us.
How do we do the greatest good?
That's fine. You told me where you're going. I will get back to headquarters. I will tell people that you guys have those areas handled.
Okay.
Fine. And he reaches into his bag, pulls out a bracer, and tosses it to Brunhilde.
They're
I'm
working so well.
I'm deputizing you in this emergency. If this comes back, if the system comes back up, I need you in the know. Go. Go.
Let's
And
go.
as you guys are heading out, he looks down, sees the dwarf on the ground, bends down to try and take his pulse. And Brunhilde, you're the one talking to him, so I'm going to say you see this. And I'm going to say only you see this. Because the rest of you are focusing on getting out the door. But he reaches down, and out of the neck, a neck plate that is here on the dwarf, two little needles shoot up, rapid, super fast, and strike Burke right in the arm. Ah! And he reels back, but he can't quite pull away. They're actually embedded into his skin. And he finally wrests it with a great effort of force. And he just starts holding his arms. Oh, God. Don't worry about me. Just go on. And you can see there's actually like black spidering happening, spreading out under the site of the injection.
None of us can tell what that is.
You know what? I will give you guys a chance, but Brunhilde is the only one who technically. Well, I'll let you guys have a chance to see it if you think you have some contribution. If you think you'd be likely to actually have seen it, as opposed to just trying to get out the door.
I was likely halfway climbed up the side of the building to see if I can get a better view, so I didn't see anything.
So I'll let you have it at your discretion for your character. So it's going to be geez, that's a tricky one. Whatever check you think is appropriate. We'll say that.
I think I would actually probably be walking out the door trying to get to the temple. So
You'd
I'd
be pretty
probably
focused. Yeah. All right.
He's telling me to go. He's telling me to go.
It's your call, fearless leader.
I'm gonna see if I can tell what it is, and then if I know, awesome. If I don't, then I'll go.
Okay. Give me that roll.
I'm thinking. Oh, hey! Wait a second. Haha. Silly me. I have detect poison. Maybe I can
Okay.
try for that.
All right. Go ahead. You gonna cast
Nice.
that? Spend off your slot.
Wow. How much you want to bet it's not poison based on the reaction of the dungeon master?
You can certainly try. No. So, so the thing is, what is a poison? A poison is an invasive, destructive material. Right? That's its very nature. And this is an invasive, destructive material. But it is, so you do get a ping. You sense the presence and location of poisons within 30 feet. You can also identify the kind of poison, poisonous creature, or disease. So I will say that you don't actually... It's hard for you to establish exactly what it is. But you can tell that it's designed to spread. And it is very unnatural. And yet natural at the same time. It's weird. You're getting both signals. It doesn't make any sense.
Crib goes over to Trailblazer and just kind of hunches over and nudges her a little bit and goes, "What is it?"
Oh, this is bad. That's gonna spread. That's gonna spread fast. I don't know what it is.
I got it. You guys are needed out there. Just go on.
Someone
hopped
help
down-
him. Just shout at anyone in the bar. I don't even know who's still in the tavern, and then I'll tell me to go.
Is there a chance
All right.
that we could carry him?
Master
to,
Coffee will start coming around the bar.
Thank you, Master Coffee.
All right.
All right, where do we go? Do we go help Cool, or do we go help the temple? Because you never split the party.
What? What?
There is.
Ray is already kind of walking towards the temples, kind of like that.
Temples are this way, guys, in case you didn't know.
Yeah. So the good news is all these things are relatively close to each other. There is that.
Okay.
So another thing, Brunhilde, I'm going to make your life even better right now. The other thing that you notice as you're stepping out, Brunhilde, is that you immediately recognize one of the areas. The reason you recognize it is because you're actually used to seeing, as you look out at night, you're used to seeing a glow from this vantage point at this location. It's normal for you. But now it's not just a glow, now it's a small inferno. And that would be the blacksmith at which you trained.
Of course it is. Okay.
The blacksmith just, said you were a disgrace to your kind. I mean, come on, you should go to the temple.
The temples accept everyone, so I mean...
Oh, Dragonborn logic. I love it. It's fantastic. Okay. All right, so like I said, these things are all close to each other, so you guys have to decide where you're going first.
Alright, I vote we just, go in one direction and loop all the way around. And
Yeah, but
just go
decide
in the
which.
order that we loop around in.
But decide which.
What's the closest?
Oh, hell. You're going to make me figure it out, you bastards.
That's what a good player does. Screw the DM.
easiest-
Screws you back.
It all slopes downhill, right? We're not going to have to, go up anything. I mean...
Well, that's the other thing I was thinking is whatever's downhill, right? The easiest way to guarantee
They're
an
all
action
downhill.
is to put multiple choices in front of somebody.
Yeah, indeed. All right, I'm going to say that the residential neighborhood is what's closest.
All right. We might as well go to the closest spot.
We'll go there first. At the temples, there are also people who can
There
protect
are.
the temples.
Yes.
Not necessarily in the residential area.
Let's see what we
I
can do.
agree. It was probably less equipped for this. Can we do the temples next?
Temples
Sure.
would be next in the circuit, yes.
Let's take care of the innocents. Is the housing district downhill?
Yeah, everything is downhill from here. You guys are at the top of the hill, so yeah.
It's gonna ride us.
Just like in San Francisco, everything's downhill from where you're at.
Unless it's not.
And uphill.
At
Yeah.
the same
exactly
time.
2 blocks away from each other.
Oh my god, it's absolutely true.
Woo!
Um,
T-I double gut
all right. So you guys make your way with all haste towards the residential district, towards Northern Ayleside. Yes, what? Oh, I thought you wanted something. John.
Oh, no, but I'd probably be riding my skateboard, and I may be a little bit further ahead of the party. Not too much, but I mean, I'm zipping down. This was my angle, my aim anyway.
All right, so you will reach. Well, you'll reach it first, of course. The area. There's actually a. They have it somewhat cordoned off, not like a fence separating, but mostly like, those very simple fences, which are basically just posts with one beam between them, like a post 50 yards apart with one beam across. It's that kind of fence. Like, it's just basically a kind of delineation. There's some nice parks in the area as well, and there's a small sign on it that says Northern Ayleside, and it's basically one street that is kind of loops around, kind of the more British style of neighborhood, like Privet Drive kind of area, that sort of thing. So you go rolling inside first. Everybody else kind of catching up, huffing, puffing with breath, trying to keep up at your pace. Behind you.
Dwarves are natural sprinters. They can go short distances.
You're riding cloudy, aren't you, Trailblazer?
Oh, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
All right. And rolling onward. So, as you are rolling through the gate, running up to you, Dadatillo, is Ericul. She is meeting you at the gate. She sees you there. This is brother. Oh,
Are you okay?
I'm
okay?
fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. But
What about the neighborhood kids? Have you seen them? Have they gotten out?
there's this short look of panic on her face. When in her head, she's doing the math of child plus fire equals did I do it right? And yes, no I did. Yes, we're good. They're fine. They're safe. Yes. Yes.
Have you seen what caused these? What's going on around here?
Dwarves! Little dwarves! Well, except the big ones. There were big dwarves and little dwarves. Really all sizes of dwarf.
Which direction?
There! And she points back, and there's actually a small group of dwarves that are like the guy you fought, the last guy you fought, Eric the Unready, who are, again, it looks as though a mining expedition has actually exploded onto them, and all the shrapnel, metal, ore, and mining tools have been embedded in them, and they all, after the point and the look, they all turn very slowly to face all of you.
How close is the rest of the party behind me?
They will be catching up in a few moments, but they are not ready yet. Ericul says, Brother, I brought you these. I think I found them. I'm not sure.
We got to discuss where you find things again. What
Stuff
are
them
they,
into
though?
your arm. So, first off, there's the braces of the Thunderer. So, that we described before. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes. Okay, you're back.
Okay, that was weird.
They are the what though?
The braces of the Thunderer.
Okay. Yes. Bracers
Right.
of the Thunderer.
So there's those. And there's another item. It is a necklace, an amulet of sorts, and it is basically it looks. It's about the size of a fist, maybe a little bit smaller. And it is basically an upside down pyramid with a great eye on one face. An Egyptian style kind of curved line, just two curved lines kind of moving like this, forming the shape of an eye.
Interesting.
And the lines of the pyramid, unlike other pyramids that you might not have seen, but you, John Graff, may have seen. It's not like a standard kind of brick layout. It looks more like puzzle pieces. Like it's kind of that cutout style, kind of jigsaw style.
Okay, so it's an amulet of an upside down pyramid with an eye.
Yes. You have no clue what it is.
No idea. I take it from her. You say it's a jigsaw puzzle. Is it like in pieces? Are you saying?
No, it's put together. It's put together.
Okay. I toss it over my neck and I grab Ericul and I try to pull her back to a little bit of safety as we're waiting for the rest of the team to join us.
All right. The three dwarves that are near the blaze start walking towards you, slowly and with purpose.
I'm going to pull out my juggling balls and start... I also want to put on the bracers and start juggling my juggling balls.
Okay.
Are we able to see any of this happening, or are we too busy huffing and puffing behind him?
You are able to see him juggling his balls.
Oh my gosh. This is rated
I'm not even gonna
E
tweet
for
that.
explicit.
It's Mature Monday. All right. By the way, Sam, Sam's cam is no good. It's just it's not. Yeah, it's not coming back.
Turn it off. Turn it back.
You may have to disconnect and reconnect.
I thought she was just
or
try that.
Contemplating
everything very, very well.
Well, she's on a Mac.
There we go. There
you go.
All right. So normally those bracers do take attunement.
Yes.
I will say the necklace does not. But the bracers do. So I will say that for now you only get the +1 until you can have a short rest with that thing.
Okay, just the plus one on
+1
the
AC. Yeah.
Okay. Yay! Thank you, guys. Thank you, Christian.
All right. So, let's do this. If you are not going to do anything other than juggle them balls, we're all going to go into initiative together. They will arrive when the dwarves arrive.
Okay. Fair enough.
All right. So I'm going to actually pull you guys as tokens.
Roll initiative.
So roll initiative.
Roll initiative.
20, baby.
There we go.
Ryu and Greg get the same initiative with the same bonus. Rock, paper, scissors?
No, you will go simultaneously.
In alphabetical order.
You'll go simultaneously.
The paladin and
play
the
rock,
chaotic
paper,
good
scissors?
wizard going at the same time. That's got to be a good thing.
No.
All right. I'm getting everything pulled up here. Pardon my dust.
Am I able to
Gotta make it down.
tell anything about these dwarves, like how tough they might be, or if any of them have special talent inclinations? We'll just say it that way. Just by looking at them.
Talent inclinations?
Yeah. Like, are they all carrying axes, or are they? Is one potentially?
Let's do this on your turn.
caster?
Let's do this on your turn. So actually, let me get you guys added. Cloudy's gonna act on your turn. Get you guys added. Tell me what you got, Brunhilde. Just tell me.
14.
Bakarayu.
She had a 20.
She had 20. Okay. Dadatello.
Mine was 18.
Kriv.
20.
And somehow you guys have lost Flash. As you were barreling down, you've lost sight of him. You have no clue where he went.
He's hiding in the shadows somewhere.
Sure, he's hiding in the shadows. Absolutely.
All right.
I hear
You
he's
keep
working
losing
on
the
his
rope.
postdoctoral.
And
He's here in a
There's
minute,
our-
then gone in a flash. Oh.
Oh.
just like a man. All right.
Those rogues.
And I need to roll for the dwarves. I do not think they had a good... Nope, they had no bonuses whatsoever. Yep, they're going last. All right. So, Bakarayu and Kriv, you guys are going simultaneously.
Paladins first.
Hold on, Dungeon Master.
Yes, yes.
Have you turned off the minion sounds?
I think I
For the
did.
donation?
Oh no, I didn't. I never turned it back on.
Oh no.
Also, the minion sound was very, very long. So I replaced it with
So
something
we
else.
ha-
But what do we got? What do
had
we
a
got?
Donation,
Ah!
and I think he was waiting for the minion.
Oh, no.
sounds, and so was I. So,
Oh no.
God.
yes. So
Ba, ba, ba,
Heather,
ba, 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 ba.
one of our phenomenal supporters, has donated again.
Huzzah! Welcome back, Chaz.
Yes, he has
Thank you, Stu.
donated $100 and wants to give everyone a quick win token.
Yay!
Yay!
Woo!
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
All got one
There we
loaded
go.
in the chamber now.
There's your minions. All right. Thank you very much, Chaz Veda. All right. So, no, here's what's going to happen. You guys literally are going at the same time. Don't wait for each other. Just go.
All right. Well, I'm trying to figure out, can I tell anything about these dwarves as they're coming at us? So, like, is there anyone that...
Give me a roll.
Is there anyone that I should be more worried about?
Give me a roll. What are you rolling? Tell me what you want to roll. Tell me what makes sense for your character to roll to figure this
I guess
out.
investigation?
Okay, roll it.
Perception, 1 of 2. I'll do investigation.
Natural 20!
Ooh.
Womp, 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 womp. Womp, 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 womp. All right, so natural 20 on investigation. Wow. All right. What do you want to know?
Well, what I want to know is, like, is there anything overtly that tells me who they are? Is there things that might indicate, hey, that one's more likely to be a melee brawler or a caster, or we could be expecting, someone to start throwing. I'm trying to ascertain what their danger threat level
Sure.
is.
So they're not. Here's the thing. You know that dwarves are not the fastest, but they're not walking. They're not running. They're basically striding, and they're kind of more or less acting in unison. So it's almost as if they were a single unit.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, their build and their everything about them is
Like, are
seems
they
to be
being
rather brutish.
controlled, or is it more like groupthink type of thing?
That would, even with the 20, I don't know if you'd have any way of knowing that.
Fair enough.
It's that dwarf hive
Okay.
mind thing again.
How far away are they from me?
How far?
So right now, they're gonna actually reach Dadatello. So at the moment, they are 60 feet away.
60 feet. I always forget that.
50 feet. 50 feet. Because they're walking slowly.
I always forget. And is he wearing... Do I know about the bracers and the lightning thing?
Nope.
All right, so I know nothing about that. I know what I would like to cast just because it's a new spell and I've never had it before. That's 100 feet, 5 feet.
Come on. Need a decision.
I'm gonna go and are they grouped? They're pretty much going side by side, so they're grouped together, right?
Yep.
Oh, screw it. There's enough fire everywhere. I'm gonna cast Fireball, and aiming it straight for the middle one. So hopefully it's gonna envelop them all. And I'm gonna use my Evocation Sculpt to make sure that Dadatello and then he's the only one that I think would be in dangerous, right? Because you said.
Nope. There's also Aracool, who you see beside him.
Okay, well that's fine because I got enough of a levels to handle them.
Okay.
Pick up to 4 people. So I'm gonna make sure that the spell does not splash onto them, and cast Fireball.
Okay. All right. So it's a dex save for them. They're actually gonna roll their dex saves, and
So
it's a
we're acting
DC
at
15.
Time, right?
Yes. So what are you doing? Well, before we roll that effect, tell me what you're doing.
Am I close enough to put Aura of Protection on Dadatello and his sister?
The aura is as a range of what?
10 feet.
I think it's 10 feet from you. So, you could, because they're 30 feet away from you, so you could move, get up there, and you could put your aura on. That's absolutely fine.
Okay. That's what I do. That gives them a +3 to saves.
All right. Excellent. All right. So this shield of arcane energy just whips up, purplely glowing around Dadatello, you and your sister, as the flames kind of whoosh around and explode also onto the dwarves, and they kind of stumble backward. They all fail their saves, by the way. One of them actually rolled a natural 1. So he's actually prone. He is on his... I'm going to say the one in the middle. It makes the most sense. He is on his ass. And that is 23 damage. Most excellent.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Very nice. How long does that aura stay up? It basically follows you. Is that the way it works? Or is there something else? I'm thinking of something else maybe.
No, let me look it up.
Is it an ability or a protection?
Protection.
Oh, that's not an action. It's always on.
Ew.
Yeah. Whenever you are a friendly creature within 10 feet, you must make a saving throw. The creature gains a bonus equal to your charisma modifier. There's no action for it. It's always on. So it's actually not like an arcane thing that comes up. It's more like just the essence. It would be the essence of the storm, kind of coalescing and pushing away from it.
Well, kudos.
So what do you want to do with your action?
How close am I to the dwarves? Or how close can I move up then at that point?
You can get right up to the one who... well, you can get right up to any of them.
After they've gone on fire, please.
stay close enough to use my breath weapon?
Oh, I mean, your breath weapon. The trick of your breath weapon is the others would be in the way.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, you could rush to the side. You could rush to the side and catch all three in a line.
Okay. I'll do
Okay, so go ahead and use that so we can see the damage roll. All right, so it's a 13 dex save. Again, they're making with disadvantage. One of them passed. Two of them fail. Is it half damage for a pass?
Yes.
All right. So that's going to be... What?
I love that we're doing this.
All right. Okay, now we're at Datatello.
Okay. I was getting out my juggling ball so I could taunt these guys as I wait for my colleagues to join us, and they got here before I was able to get anything witty out.
Taunting with your balls.
Again, I am a street performer of sorts. On my skateboard, it was already out since I had already, skated all the way downhill to where these guys are at. I'd like to skate around the opposite direction that Bakaryu went, and with attack on a juggling ball on on the guy on the end, telling them that they shouldn't play with fire. It's very dangerous. So I don't know if she went clockwise. I'm going to go counterclockwise on my skateboard around. I forgot that I can move my guys.
No, we'll do this.
Oh.
Ah!
I hope. Sorry. You do it.
All right.
Double mousing. Bam, bam.
Okay, go ahead and roll them attack rolls then. I love it.
You guys shouldn't play with fire. You can get hurt that way.
I mean, it's even funnier now that they were attacked with fire also. And electricity.
A shocking development indeed.
All right. Okay. That's enough of that.
I mean, you can literally feel the electricity in the air. It's just so thrilling.
One of those will hit. The one will not, of course. So go ahead and roll damage for one. 5 damage as you fling a hard ball directly at his head and just goes. Poof.
Nice.
Just turns to look at you
Point of question
stoically.
for you. Your juggling balls, are they any particular color?
I have every color of the rainbow.
Oh,
Every color of the rainbow.
thank you for dodging that one, whether you meant to or not.
I am not going, because I am low on ki as it is, I'm not going to implement Flurry of Blows, but I do realize my bonus action, I can still use an attack on that as a monk. Is that correct?
As an unarmed, so you would have to get right up. It's 2.
Right.
So Flurry of Blows. You get an unarmed attack.
Unarmed attack. I
Yep,
couldn't hit him with a range. How far away am I at this current point?
You can get up next to him. You can see, because that's the thing. You can move, attack, move. That's fine. You can move, attack, move, attack, move, attack. I don't care. That's absolutely fine.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, just one more. Ball, punch.
Ball, punch.
Right. In his.
Claw, bite. Ball, punch.
This is exactly how it works out, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
That is, so you land it square in his jaw, and just like he barely flinches from it. It does nothing, and your hand's actually because apparently there's some kind of metal plate underneath his beard.
All right. Well, I'm going to pull back away a little bit so that we kind of have them surrounded now.
Okay, Brunhilde, you're up.
That beard glued on to a metal. I mean, they're like yelling at me about the beard stuff, and they're just like gluing it. Now I just imagine them like super gluing beard hair to like this metal.
I wonder if there's like a dwarf, like a beard hair loss company You know, just like there is for men hair loss. Like instead of Rogaine, it's like
Oh man.
Dwarfgain.
All right.
And other guys going, I'm not just the owner of Dwarfgain. I'm also a customer.
Oh wow, that's amazing. Yeah.
And if you don't buy Dwarf again, you die. All right. What's up?
I'll just I'm just gonna shoot some at one of them. The one on the ground. I'll pick on the weakest one. Might as well. Use my sweet longbow, doing the sideways thing.
All
Roll out
right.
my step stool, climb up on it.
You just climb on the back of Cloudy.
There's that also. Yeah. Well, and I technically never got off of Cloudy. So,
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just mounted archer right now.
Majestic steed.
Charging into battle. I'm making note of that. That's for drawing images coming out later this week.
Yes.
All right, so go ahead and roll your attack. And which one are you targeting? There's one on the ground. You have
the ground.
Well, you have disadvantage on targeting the one on the ground.
Actually, no. One of them, the one that Dadatello just hit. Now that
Okay,
I think about
that's
it,
the
makes
far
more
one
sense.
here.
He's angry.
Yeah. All right.
I'll shoot at the angry one.
All righty. 19. Yes, that is a hit.
19.
No, 19. And you get 2 attacks, right? So.
Yes, I do.
All right, 10.
Oh.
So the first one goes out, boom, and it goes right in his eye.
Ooh.
Roll damage, please. 10. So he's like actually kind of stuttering and not moving clearly, but he's still up. And then you
absolutely piercing eyes.
you pull. Oh.
Jeez.
This is why we bring a wizard with us.
Rock falls on you, you die. So the the second arrow that you fire, actually, you got it ready and you let go, and Claudia just goes. Just start munching on the arrow.
Gotta feed the goat.
That goat is apparently a monk and has deflect missiles.
I could see that.
All right. So now we're actually at the dwarves. It is their turn to go. Let's start with the one facing Dadatello. His hand will just start like it's making kind of a clamping sound, like really fast and hard, and it's just reaching out towards you, Dadatello. You try to evade, and we'll see if he can actually land the attack here. What is your AC?
It is now 15.
All right, that is most definitely a miss. Not even close. It goes wide. You dodge underneath. So he makes another attack.
How do you miss me? I'm 3 times your size.
That is also a miss. So he bringing his hand across. He just can't seem to grab you. You're too nimble. The one that is laying down will suddenly stand up. Like he's on his back, and just all of a sudden, like very ramrod straight as he's lifting himself up, looking around, seeing Dadatello as the biggest danger, and he will actually pull out a battle axe from behind, and it actually goes like it looks like a normal battle axe. It's pretty wicked, but then the handle will extend, and the blades will go and get bigger. They'll just all expand out until it's this massive thing, and you can see the edges of each of the blades are serrated. And it's really, really frightening and unnerving when they suddenly go and start whirring loudly with this high-pitched whine and vibrating fiercely. So he whips this around at you.
Bring it on, Rocksteady.
He's gonna make 2 attacks at you with this. And one of them will hit. The other one goes wide. He actually knocks you so hard with it that you actually get. That's why you get missed by the other one.
Okay.
Oh snap! That's a lot of damage. He got you bad. That is 25 slashing damage. He-
25 slashing damage.
He almost rolled max damage.
Wow.
He
Okay.
basically just digs it in here, and it's just like it starts digging into your skin. It's actually cutting down further into you until you pull yourself away, and that's when he tries to attack again. But it's you're far wide by this point. What's your hit point total right now?
41.
Okay. All right, so he's moved up here, and the last one on Bakarayu. We'll make 2 attacks. This one will actually, his hand will actually like pop down like on a hinge, and outside will come like on a stick this little blade. It's a little kind of saw, little circular saw. It'll just start whirring around. It'll just try to cut at you with that. At least that's what he's originally going to do. But then he looks and sees Brunhilde nearby. Brunhilde, how far away are you by this point?
That's a fantastic question. If I'm on Cloudy, I don't remember how fast Cloudy goes. 40.
Did you advance or not?
No.
Okay, then you're 30 feet away, and he's just going to advance on you, and that will be his turn. He's actually not going to attack Bakarayu. He sees you, and you are the target, and so he's coming for you.
Great.
But he won't reach you. And now we're back up to Kriv and Bakarayu.
So, I see the dwarf advancing on Trailblazer, and I just instantly get overprotective, and I shoot. I'm gonna cast Lightning Bolt at him, and hopefully the other dwarves are somewhat in their general area. But I'm gonna make sure I sculpt my spells so
Okay.
so no one else gets damage other than the dwarves that I want.
All right.
So
Which
it's
two?
100
These
feet
two?
long, 5 feet wide. Yeah, because those are the primary. I can't tell how far apart the third one is. It's a 100 feet length, 5 feet wide. So those two should get hit, and then I don't know if the
Which
third
spell
one's
is it?
within 5 feet.
Which spell is
Lightning
it?
Bolt.
Oh. There is no way for you to hit all 3 without hitting a compatriot.
Would it be me?
Yes, but I have sculpt spells. It's an invocation,
Oh. Then,
If you-
so I should be able to protect up to 4 people.
and she is resistant, but it is you actually. You would be one of the people. But he can sculpt it anyway, so I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Sure. We'll just go with that. So you'll see the lightning bolt coming at you, Ryu. You're just like, yeah, bring it, and it goes around. Oh. All right. So that is, oh my god, 32 damage.
Everyone loves the lightning. It's the best experience out there.
All right, one of them passed, and of course it's the one with the wicked axe.
Oh man.
Yeah. So
They do get half damage on a successful.
the other two will just
Shot.
fall to the ground, completely lifeless.
It took me way too long to pick up on
And
that.
this guy, he takes 16. Yep, he's still barely kicking. The guy with the axe. He's still like, like he actually makes a vocalization. It's the first you haven't heard these guys say anything. There's actually some sense of like life coming out of his voice, and he shrugs it off. Looking around wildly, sees you, Kriv, as the source, but also sees beside you Brunhilde, and starts walking with purpose towards her.
So I haven't acted yet.
Go ahead.
Is that the one that I can hit without hitting anybody else? Also with lightning?
You would hit. It will be a close thing.
Often phases.
But you think you can totally
Never
miss.
mind.
You think you can totally miss Donatello. What do you
I
think?
read it wrong. I couldn't use it.
Okay.
So.
Alright, so what are you doing then?
How close am I? Can I run up and hit him?
You're like 15 feet away.
I do that.
Alright. Go ahead and roll. Oh, 11. 11 is not going to cut it. Literally.
Nope.
You have another... You have more than one attack?
Yes.
Alright.
Try that again, or...
Or you could also use quick wins.
18. 18 is an exact hit. Exactly what you needed. All right, so
Huzzah.
go ahead and give me that damn. 16 damage. All right, so he's walking with purpose. Beeline, staring straight at Brunhilde, is walking straight towards her, and you just come up behind and it just bite your great sword down into his back. You're a paladin, maybe not across the back. Actually, how do you want to finish him off? You tell me. How do you want to do this?
I would come from the front.
Come from the
More
front.
Like, don't mess with my trailblazer.
All right, so you just step right in front and intercept.
Yep.
All right, and you just drive your sword forward, and he literally is impaled on it, and he coughs up black, not blood, black,
Uh-oh.
and he takes another step forward.
He didn't get the point.
And his eyes aren't on you. He's looking over your shoulder at Brunhilde. And he takes another step forward. And one more step. But doesn't finish it and falls slack on the blade.
This is a nightmare. It is literally a nightmare.
What did you do?
Disguising, possibly. Just maybe a little bit, so you're not completely dwarf bait.
It's not a bad idea. Maybe I should.
Hmm.
What I did was learn blacksmithing. That's all I did, and then
Are we out of battle at this point?
You are out of battle. They're all down.
So, I think what you're saying is we need some sort of costume, disguise for Trailblazer. Is that what I hear you saying, Ryu?
Yeah,
Some-
like make her look like an elf or something. I don't know.
So I mutter towards my cloak and I reach my hand into my cloak and try to pull something out in the hopes that I will have something to suit the group's purpose.
Well,
That's not quite how it worked. You have to you have to get her to do it.
Ryu
No.
said.
Form of a question. You know that's how it works.
Hey, Ryu, ask me if I have anything that would work for a disguise for Trailblazer.
This is a weird joke he's been doing lately. I don't get it, but I think it's pretty funny. So go ahead and ask him.
Okay. Hey, do you have anything in your cloak that would be able to disguise Brunhilde?
So I reached into my cloak and I pull.
You pull
something
out. Roll an Arcana check. 20. Not a natural, but still awfully high.
I'll take it.
Yeah. All right. You pull out a large cloak that is far too big. And it looks like it kind of looks like a Jedi robe in the sense that it completely like drapes down. Yeah, exactly. It comes down over the eyes. It is very long, draping over the arms. It's floor length. It seems to be made of some kind of a weird material. You're feeling the inside, like the inside of the cloak is kind of odd. It's not just cloth. There's some sort of lining in it. And yeah.
So I hand this cloak over to Trailblazer and I'll say, try it on. If it's too long, maybe Cloudy will hem it up.
Hem.
Oh, yeah, I'll try it on.
All right. You
While
put
they're
it on.
Dress up. I am gonna take.
I'm more amazed that no one's asking me why where Chris pulling all this crap out of.
I don't know if anyone wants to know where Chris is pulling all this crap.
I think it was better not knowing.
I thought haven't you been taking like amateur magician classes at the local annex? I think that I don't know how much you're paying, but it's definitely worth the money. I'm gonna take a brief moment to kind of go into a meditation, doing some sort of tai chi with my bow staff, and then planting the staff directly onto the ground, smashing it to the ground, and yelling "Cowabunga!" And then using my wholeness of body to bring up some of my hit points.
All you need, John, right now is the occasional belch, and you'd be the Ninja Turtle version of Rick from Rick and Morty. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know where you got that from.
I don't know. I don't have a portal gun with me anymore.
He sounds very much like him. I swear to God.
Yes. Now that you say it, and then oh my gosh.
Yeah, you just need a belch on command. It's perfect.
I love you guys. All the same, I brought myself up almost to my halfway point. So I don't know when we're talking about any of our
Hey,
equipment.
Donatello, wouldn't it be nice to have a health potion right about now?
I was just thinking, why have none of us carried any health potions lately?
How about you ask the wizard if I have any health potions to help you?
Okay. Kriv, do you have any health potions? I could probably use something to close up this gaping wound.
Your cloak, Kriv,
Yes.
reaches up and slaps you across the face. Yeah, except it actually hurts.
Yeah.
Like it knows exactly how to do it.
Punched myself.
It knows how to do it exactly, so it's like a towel whip.
I just kind of looked down like, the ask. It was a genuine ask.
It slaps the other direction.
Oh man. All right, so that's good for a long rest. I don't see myself falling anytime
And
soon.
Brunhilde, as you're putting this on, I have to apologize. He asked for this, okay? Look, I don't actually determine what happens. I just tell you, okay? You realize as you're putting on this cloak that it's got this extra piece of cloth that's kind of draping across the shoulder. And you're like looking at this and you're fiddling with it and you see there's a fastener on one end. You realize, oh hell. It's designed to come across almost like a burqa and block your beard. He rolled too well.
Fine. That's all right. I'll just. Can I still see like?
Oh yeah.
Clearly-ish?
Well, mostly. You'll have to. I will say you don't have disadvantage, but we'll say that if at any point you would have advantage, you don't until you pull it back a little bit. So I won't hit you that hard, but you're still not going to get any advantage. You got to be the whole time with it, like trying to blow it out of your.
So Donatello, how are you doing on health? Do you need extra assistance?
I could really appreciate it. I'm about 3/4 of the way up, so only 1/4 of the way down, but still, that's for a hit point meat bag. That's rough on me.
So I.
All right.
What's it called?
Yeah.
Lay on hands. Okay.
So what are you guys going to do about this fire? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Were you still doing lay on hands? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry. My apologies.
I was trying to figure it out.
Oh, well, you have a certain amount of hit points that you can do. It should be on your character sheet. It says lay on hands. I think it's like 30 or 35. I think it's 30.
I think it's 30.
Okay, so the way it works, you say, all right, I'm going to give him 15 of my 30, and then you deplete your pool by 15, and he heals that 15. And you get that pool back, filled back up, I think with a long rest.
I'm down a total of 14, but
Yeah.
I will gladly accept anything you grant me.
I can give you 14. Sorry, I had to figure out where it was on the character sheet.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of my delay. So I can give you 14 and then deplete by...
Deplete by 14. There you go.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Thank you, Baccario. I owe you another one in battle.
Yeah, as for the fire, I can make a cubic foot of non-living material chill.
Nobody knows how to respond to that. All right. Okay.
I can make the building wear some sunglasses. And
How omnipresent is this fire right now? Are we engulfed in it? Is this a
You are not engulfed in
towering
it, but
inferno?
no, it is not quite a towering inferno, but it's going to start spreading pretty bad here in a moment. Right now, it seems to be confined to pretty much 2 buildings, but they are rather large buildings, and the flames are starting to jump a little bit, so they might hit adjacent buildings before too long.
You know, Donatello, it would be really nice if one of us had some sort of magical fire hose with a never-ending supply of water that we could spray into the nearest fire.
Hey,
Maybe
Ooh,
for
let me-
a short period of time so that we don't totally piss off some higher being.
That's a fantastic idea. This is one of his jokes again, guys. Kriv, do you have a fire hose?
Oh no.
What good is a fire hose without the water? Hey,
it
give
has
us the
an
whole...
unending
So you
supply of water.
He starts doing this motion, and you guys see this tube come out of his arm, and he keeps doing it, and the tube just keeps coming out like every time he moves his arm. And he's got this long tube just kind of hanging out of his sleeve.
They used to do this at the circus over there when we were kids. I remember this. This is awesome. But seriously, not the time for jokes, Kriv. This is a serious moment.
Is there anyone around that can help put out this fire so that we can also continue going to other places? Donatello, you live near here, right? Do you know of anyone else who could help? Eric Cool?
I can help! I can help! I want to help!
Excellent.
I wordlessly just hand her the hose.
All right, she grabs it and starts pulling, and it just keeps coming. Just keeps coming. She looks at
You
you.
should have asked for the water. the robe's just bulging. Them up
And she starts running in the opposite direction while holding it. She'll make it about, I don't know, 30 yards. And then he'll feel, he'll pop free.
All we need is a pump and a water source.
How's this?
Is there a...
Oh, donation sound. We got donation sound.
Excellent. Huzzah.
Yes,
We got donation
yes,
sound.
We have a donation. There is no request,
Ah,
but we have a $15 donation from Chuckles.
Chuckles.
Hey, thanks,
I believe Heather knows who that is.
Is it Uncle Chuckles?
It just says Chuckles, actually. No uncle, just Chuckles. Hilarious, by the way.
Hashtag no uncle, just Chuckles.
Now, see-
Let me know who.
Kriv, all of your magic tricks are starting to attract the right folks around here. Good job, Kriv. Brian's gonna kill me by the end of the night.
No.
I won't, but Griv might.
All right, what are you guys doing?
Let up.
I know this area pretty well. Is
You better
there
watch it.
is there water sources? I mean, any civilization has some sort of fire retardant safety precautions set in place around.
Never-ending barrel of holding that's full of water.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing. That is just everywhere. What do you think this is? Modern society? Yeah. No. So no, it's the thing is, you would know that there is a reservoir that is that is not too far.
Is it within 30 yards so we could actually use this?
Why don't you roll a d4? It's at 30 yards. No, there's no way there's something within 30 yards. You do know that some of the underwater aqueducting, though, from the reservoir does pass directly under this courtyard.
Is there a convenient manhole cover that a half-orc would be comfortable with?
Now roll a
down?
d4.
There we go.
Or you guys can spend luck point. Never mind, you got a 1.
Ugh.
No, I tell you what, you can still spend the luck point if you want.
Okay.
I'll spend one.
Since it's Donatello's neighborhood, Curve just kind of goes.
Okay.
Then
there is a I don't want to call it a manhole cover, because
Half-orc cover.
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Okay. And I've spent time down there, so I know. Would you believe it? I've spent time in the sewers.
I might.
Based on the smell, I believe it's daily.
It's a lot of fun down there. You guys can skate for miles, and no one really gets in your way. You gotta get over the rats every once in a while. All right, so I can, and Eric Cool would know where all of the sewer entrances are as well. We've spent a lot of time playing
that's
in
true.
there, right?
So, to kind of cut to the chase, you can get down there. You'll be able to get the hose in as well. We'll say that it's not quite big enough, and you'll be able to get another hose out. Like you'll have to ask for it, but the cloak will just go and just fling the hose out. It's not even gonna bother with the trick again. It's bored of this now. Just this coil just flops out from his cloak without him actually reaching in. But you can fasten them together. You guys can't see Nana. She's face palming.
Pump would be nice. Pump would be nice. No one wants
Your
to suck
cloak-
on the other
your
end of that
cloak-
tube to get the water running.
The two parts of your cloak, like the two bottom halves, just kind of cross like this across your chest. But Ericool says, I got it, and she'll go to the other end of the hose and just start siphoning. and eventually it'll what? It's science.
Is that yeah, it works. That's you're siphoning against gravity in a water source.
Maybe that's not gonna work. Okay, fine. I broke Nana. That's
It's science.
all right. Never mind.
As the
Bad
last
DM.
hour,
Bad
The
DM.
DM.
The DM. Oh god. All right. I might have to make a donation to make up for that. Okay. So, Nana's crying.
Okay, Nana.
Okay. So no,
Without the
we'll
fire.
we'll have some kind of pumping mechanism.
We are. I always feel like we're the only people in the area in a massive city filled with denizens of sorts.
Oh,
No one else is helping out with this
no.
fire, or is it
Most people have been running away, especially because the dwarves were there to menace anybody who was in the vicinity.
Okay.
It's they were approaching anybody who came near. Erekul was kind of keeping at a distance, and then when she saw you, came up to you. So, yeah,
That's a good
no,
job,
it's
sis.
people
You did
have basically just been driven away.
good. Okay. I mean, we could sit here and fight fires all night long, but I know that we have other things that need to be addressed.
Okay,
Uh,
yep. Erekul says, "I got it. Don't worry."
Okay. Okay, guys. I'm gonna leave this to Trailblazer because she seems to have led us so well so far. What are we doing now? Do I have time for a short rest?
It's an hour to rest.
Yeah.
You want to
really
rest as the
don't.
city burns? Man, you are stupid.
I tell you what. I'm gonna donate 25 at the end of tonight's session. Go ahead and take your short rest. Well, everybody can do a short rest, which means you can spend hit dice to increase your health if you're low on health, and then anything that you get back with a short rest, you would get back at this point, which is not going to be everything. Some things are long rest only, so be sure you know which is which before you grant it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Attunement. Do I have time to study these bracers? In that
Yes, you can have time
Yay.
to study them.
That was the other thing I needed to work on. Okay.
You'll have to run the lightning experience readiness wizard before you can. No, never mind. Before you can experience the lightning.
Hey, Mark, does
Yes.
spell slots? Is that a
Not for
inclusive
wizards.
Short or
No, not for
Okay.
no.
that's what I thought, but I couldn't find that reference.
I'm pretty sure it's only warlocks that get them back.
Warlocks. Get them back on a short.
Yeah, warlocks are busted in 5th edition. All right.
Weapon.
Huh?
I can't. What about the breath weapon? Is that short rest or long?
Oh, I think that's short. Let me ask the dwarf. Is that short? All right, sorry. Yeah, short rest. Short rest.
Wow.
Okay.
All
That
right.
was a kind of short-sighted joke there, Mark.
I know. Just a little.
Never
Okay.
know that one.
All right, so you're heading to the Temple District. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. This time, are you going to stay
I simply
with the
walk,
group?
I don't do the hops or
Oh,
skips.
sure. Are you going to stay with the group this time, Donatello, since it's not your...
I will stay ahead but close.
Okay.
Within 30 feet.
All right. So you are approaching. You will be the one at the lead. You can see as you're heading through, there's probably you'll be passing a couple other areas which are also flame people running away or trying to do bucket chains. So there is a concerted effort here. People are working together to fight what they can. Most of these pyres do not have any sort of dwarves attending them, or causing trouble, but you do occasionally see on the ground, as you actually, we'll just say that you do see, as you're making your way down on the ground, there is a dwarf that is laying there, just breathing, and it's a probably a middle-aged dwarf. We'll say he's got kind of half-moon spectacles. It looks like some kind of small axe at his side, but he's laying on the ground on his back, just breathing laboriously. Seems like he's barely able to take in breath. As you approach, you can see this black kind of spidering going all the way across one side of his face, down his neck, and past his armor.
This looks familiar. This looks familiar, guys. I'm gonna point that out to the masked hero riding the goat behind us.
Stop and look at the dwarf. Do I know this dwarf?
I'm gonna let you decide. Do you know this dwarf, and if so, who is he?
Or she.
Or she. Thank you.
Ooh.
I mean, you can't tell just by the beard.
On our way to the Temple District.
Mm-hmm.
Are we in any specific part of town now? Are we like passing through somewhere?
I don't have this all mapped out in my head, so that's an excellent question. We will say, I'm just gonna say no place in particular.
All right. Yeah, why not? I know this dwarf merchant. Dwarf merchant.
Okay.
Not always in town, actually. So, kind of crap timing for him to be here.
Okay. We'll say, sorry, friend. We'll say his name is Wurick. Wurick. Wurick.
Like
W-U-R-I-C. W-U-R-I-C. Wurick.
Does he currently despise you as well?
I'm just gonna call him the dwarf.
So he
What was that, Ryu?
Are you so you approach him,
Yeah.
and his eyes look at you, they lock on you, and he's just breathing. He can't do any other kind of movement. But he kill me, please. I don't want this. Please.
Is that black spreading?
Very slowly, but yes.
So it's considered poisoned?
Yeah.
It would be a safe
it looks
guess.
Like the same stuff, right? That I saw in the.
We're near all the temples. Are there any clerics nearby?
Well, would lesser restoration work? If it's considered poison?
You can certainly try.
I love having a paladin with us.
Yeah, I'll wave. I've seen this. I've seen this before. I don't know what kind of poison it is.
Let's try it.
All right. So you reach down with your. Do you have a holy symbol?
Yes.
All right. We'll say that it's a small. Your emblem, we'll say, is a small circle. With a lightning bolt bisecting it. Yeah. It makes sense. She's honors the storm. It makes perfect sense. Don't give me that.
I dig it.
It's got a slight border around
I
the
can
edge.
agree with you and still shake my head.
Okay. All right.
Exactly what I was thinking.
So you feel that energy, that normal energy of might and destruction, but you will it, you course it through your being, channeling it into a greater purpose, and shape it. And you reach down and place your hand upon the chest, and 2 needles will whip out and stop right here, right by your cheek. The magic has already started, and they slowly begin to evaporate up into the air, just becoming particles that just float up as the magic courses through, and they just shrink down, going back into the wound. And you can see the black slowly start to recede. And over the course of about a minute, just becoming 2 pinpricks on the side of his cheek. His breathing returns to normal. And says, "Thank you. Thank you." And
What happened?
dwarves. Some dwarves attacked he's slowly starts to sit up, although okay. Slow, okay. They started attacking people. They were focused on dwarves in particular. Any dwarf, they just went straight for them. I fended them off as best I could. Something attacked me, though. Something got me with some poison, I guess. Couldn't do anything. I felt my mind. I felt it. I felt losing grip of it. Like I was being pushed to the back. And there was this voice. So loud. And all it did was just say, "All things must be dwarf."
That's a pretty short-sighted viewpoint.
Oh.
That it is.
So Curve kind of goes over and he has his hand raised and he goes, "You still want us to kill you?"
No. I think I'm okay now.
No trouble. Happy to oblige.
Do I see any clerics nearby trying to help people in need?
So you aren't quite to the temple district yet, just FYI. You were on the way when this happened.
Okay.
And at the moment, no, you do not see any.
Okay. I was just
Do we
trying to
gather any
find.
more-
Say again?
Do we gather any more of an idea of what this is from what just happened?
Yeah.
What would you like to do? Would you like to roll? Would you like to ask? What would you like? Tell me what you're doing.
I guess ask.
Go ahead. You have an audience.
I mean, has anybody seen this before? It's
I'd like to do a history check to see if in my great studies, if I've read anything similar of mysterious things shooting out of people to infect them with like that 2-prong attack.
Okay, go ahead and roll. And then as you're doing that, 18. As you're doing that, so I'm assuming you're asking that out loud.
Yeah.
Ryu.
Oh, Ryu.
Yeah.
I was assuming she was asking that out loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the crowd. Like,
I'd like to.
Wurik doesn't
history,
know. He does not. He's
I'd
never
like
heard of this.
To history as well, because that's something I am proficient in. Is there anything historical that I remember with a 13?
No, nothing with a 13, nothing with an 18. This is unprecedented as far as either of you know.
Were the dwarves strange looking?
Oh, you're asking him? They, he kind of stops for a moment, and he actually will start, like, help me, please. He's asking if you can help, like, with the chainmail that he normally keeps. So he's got some fasteners down the side. He's feeling a little bit too frail, so you have to help him, like, undo them. And as he pulls down, you can see that although the black has completely receded, there is metal plating across just random places on his chest.
What kind of metal is it?
It almost looks like smelted iron. It actually, if you want to get a real good look at it, you can see that there's almost like rivets. The shape of rivets there, but you take a real good close look, you can see they're not actual like separate rivets that one would like inject in. It's actually like the shape of rivets have been molded into from a solid piece of metal.
When did this start?
Never had it before.
How long ago were you attacked?
Really hard to tell when all you know is pain. Every moment's in a bit of an eternity. Or was that overly dramatic? I'm sorry. It
Craig just says
really hurt, okay?
And starts walking towards the temple, like, because that was the last thing they were doing.
How tall is the closest building?
The closest building? I mean, none of the buildings are terribly tall here, but I'll say that there's maybe a 25-foot tall building.
All right, I'd like to really quickly climb up the side of one of those buildings. I want to get to the top and get the best eye view of the city.
Okay. All right. So you pull up and start looking around. I'm not going to make you roll. You can just parkour your way up. And yeah, you can see a pretty good layout. What are you looking for specifically?
Are there more fires than there were before? I just need to get a better layout again of where we are and what is lying ahead of us for the evening.
So you would think that there's probably a few less, though not many. It's a bit hard to tell because you're looking from a completely different vantage point. But you think it may have diminished some.
Okay.
You think where you were headed, you think you can spot the temple district up ahead, and you think the fire there is actually put out. At least you don't see any glow from that direction.
Do I see anything else? Do I see any more metal dwarfs?
That's difficult to tell, so I need you to roll perception.
I can do perception.
Perception 19, pretty good. As a matter of fact, you can actually see. You kind of hold still and focus. And although you can see, various people kind of running around, and it's hard to tell exactly from your vantage point, it's not too No, you're not that high up off the ground. You're enough to get at least a little bit of a vantage point. You think you can actually see a couple small pockets of dwarves heading in one direction, but they're in totally different areas. So you can actually see like a pocket here and a pocket maybe 500 feet away.
Okay.
They're not looking at each other. They're in completely different areas. Maybe more like 500 yards. It's big difference.
Yes.
And
500 yards.
they are both walking in the same direction, and they are not paying any heed to anybody around them. No.
They're all going to south by southwest.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
And an airplane comes and knocks you off the roof.
Okay. All right. That's the information I needed to know.
So I want to try Divine Sense.
Okay. Divine Sense, I believe, has a 30-foot range, does it not?
60.
60. Oh, yeah, yes. Sorry, 60. So what are you trying to sense? I think you have to pick, yes, or is it just anything?
I think it's anything. Presence of strong evil registers in your senses. I just want to see if what's happening to these dwarves is evil or just something else.
So I will say this. There is you don't have any of these dwarves within 60 feet, for starters. But if you're just sensing what may be near you, you extend your senses, kind of just taking in a deep breath and exhaling and letting that breath expand out your knowledge of the surrounding area. And you do sense a very faint aura. Technically it says any celestial fiend or undead. So I'm going to say there's a very faint aura of undead coming from the dwarf you guys just rescued. But it is waning. It is actually lessening. And it doesn't appear to be slowing down in its progress. You think within a minute it will be. All right. What next? What are you guys doing?
Kurt's still walking to the temple.
Okay, he's got a head start on all of you.
Yeah, that was the last place we were going to. He's tired of waiting around. He's walking.
I'll leap down.
Tell Ulrich to get out of town, and then I'll go.
You tell him to get out of town?
Yeah, like you probably should not stick around here if you have a safe place to go.
I don't know where to go.
I mean, you travel all the time, so maybe just go to one of the other places that you go to frequently.
Okay, sure. I can arrange I can expense a trip now. It's fine. And he'll start heading towards down one of the street roads, heading towards what you you see a cart. He's actually looked like he was actually bringing it home from the market, from the exchange. Looks to be laden down with task rays, and he will hoist that up and continue on his way. He'll look back over his shoulder and shout, "Thank you! I owe you!" All right.
Go check on your temple.
All right, so yeah, you head down the road, continuing on towards the temple. Only a few moments more. You were making pretty good progress by the time you stumbled across this individual. And you walk into the center of the square. The Square of the Divine is what it is known as. And it's basically this large area where there's a whole swath of temples just dotting around the outer edges. It's almost as if designed intentionally. All of the temples face inward towards a center part. And there is a statue, and it's a large statue of basically flowers. But it's made of stone, jade, and quartz, and metal, and all different, this bouquet of different types of flowers just right in the center of this square, and each temple's open doors face towards that center area. At the far end, at the far side, you can see two temples that seem to have been damaged. There's smoke coming off of the buildings, but they are it's the smoke of a fire extinguished, not of a fire raging. And it's the white smoke instead of the black smoke. And the Temple of the Storm is there, and it is somewhat damaged. Part of the roof has been burnt away, but you can see that the priests that are there, they've clearly been channeling, they've been casting. There's great puddles of water around the temple, and some around the other temple as well, the Temple of the Maker. But it seems as though it was not enough. The Temple of the Maker is nearly razed to the ground.
I go over to make sure everybody's okay and there's no poison works.
All right. You actually... I can't remember. Can never remember. Hang on. No, I don't have it with me. I cannot remember what other dragons do lightning breath attacks. Oh, of course, it's right here. Or did you know?
Bronze.
Bronze. Okay, so there's a bronze dragonborn who will greet you. You know him. Can we get a name? Can we get a recognizable name? Does anybody have one?
Malfoy.
Not that recognizable.
How about Longshore?
All right, that'll work. So yes,
well, he's a cleric, so he could be a poor man.
She.
Yes, it's Miss Longshore.
Yes. Well, no, just Longshore.
Yeah. Yeah, Miss as in
M-I-S-T.
We don't.
All right, so yes, she comes up to you. You made it, Ryu. You made it.
As did you. What happened here?
Surely you've heard. You know about the dwarfs. They did not bring the love. They brought only the pain and the poison, yes. You've seen the poison.
Yes, we saved one of them before they completely turned.
How so? How did you save him?
You're right there?
It sounded like Longshore just disappeared and was speechless.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can't now.
La 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 la.
there she is.
Yes, now I hear you.
That was weird. Okay, she says, how so? How did you save him?
With restoration?
Well, it is good to know that something so simple can be so helpful. I will have the word spread. I will spread it amongst the people.
Looks to be undead in nature. Just have an aura of it.
Yes, one of our brothers sensed that as well.
Are they focusing? I mean, are they attacking non-dwarves? Are they?
They focused on the dwarves, most certainly. They did attack anybody who tried to stop them, but they went straight for the Maker's place. As you
Did
know,
anyone
a
survive?
lot of the clerics there, a lot of the attendants and acolytes were dwarvish. I believe one of them actually spoke. Most of them did not. But one called them traitors. Called them undwarfish.
A very short conversation.
She tactfully ignores that statement. Said that they were bringing down... what did he say exactly? He said they were taking away from dwarven society by trying to allow others to be as equal as dwarves. The dwarves were superior, and if others could not live up to their standards, then they should live in the dirt.
So
I point out to Longshore the direction that I saw them going, and I ask her, when they left here, were they heading in the same direction as the way I'm pointing?
Yes. Yes, actually.
I don't know where they're going.
Do I know
Which
Do
way
I
is
know
he
anything
pointing?
about what's in that general direction? If there's anything special or anything particular dwarfish in that area? I mean, is it like Dwarven Town or something like that?
I have a suspicion.
So in terms of what is in that direction, I mean, honestly, there's not a dwarven town per se. Just like there's no elven town, there's no dragonborn town. And it's not as if things like that haven't been aspired towards in the history, but every time something like that tends to pop up, Lord Benioff tends to speak up and try to spread that kind of thing out. Yeah, that's doesn't typically happen. But in terms of what is in that direction, there's nothing of real consequence. There's no real districts that stand out from anything else. There's a lot of residential. There's a few commercial. It's a fair distance away from the coast, so there's not a lot of commercial. It's one of the most innocuous places in the city.
Is there like a blacksmith there? I don't know.
It's
Just
not in that
throwing
direction. No, it's not in that direction.
All right, that's good.
All right.
Still seems like the direction we need to go in.
DM,
Yes?
just time check.
No, I know. As I'm trying to get to a good stopping place.
Okay.
And I think we maybe had a good one here. I tried to actually end each game with some kind of a cliffhanger, and we may just not have one of those available to us right now. So this is probably a good place to
In that
stop
case, I
for
roll
now.
all the things on the offhand chance I know something of something.
You suddenly know everything, and you have a major migraine, fall over, and forget everything. My God, it's full of stars. V'ger. And if you know that reference, you're a big nerd. Thank you. Thank you for the appropriate effect there. All right, so we'll call it there with this somewhat depressing note of this, the raising of the Temple of the Maker. Within short order, we will either head towards the blacksmith or head towards the March of the Dwarves. One of the two.
Yeah.
So, regardless, here's some appropriate music. So thank you, everybody.
Ah,
Thank you very much. Thank you for all your donations, for your help. Thank you, Chaz Vader.
Yes, all of the donations. We had Chaz, we had Chuckles, we had... Who did we have? We had Mr.
Christian.
Christian. And we had
Christian. Yep.
Mr. Satanhold? Mr. Satan!
Ravenhold.
Mr. Safe and Home.
Mr. Satan! Goku doesn't know what's coming to him. All right. So thank you, everybody. We're going to call it a night here. We'll be back next week, 8 p.m. Central Time, for the third chapter of Dungeons & Dreamforce 2017, where we will find out more about the identity of who is behind this dastardly attack.
Yes.
Anything else before we call it a night?
Register for the D&D F17 party. It's Wednesday, 11 to 1. Aptus is serving lunch, and we are going to have a fantastic time live and in person. We'll be tweeting out links for that this week. So sign up for it. Don't miss that opportunity to sit back and enjoy some good old-fashioned D&D in the middle of the largest tech conference in the world.
Justice, you joined just in time for us to end.
And then Flash shows up. Where have you guys been?
I'm not... Yeah! Flash shows up. He suddenly runs up in the middle of the temple. What happened? Oh, there you... I found you guys.
You're
I thought you
kidding.
said we're going to the Temple District.
I
8 to 10, Justice.
I finally get in the roll 20 and everything.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Roll 20's been like a pain. I got the unauthorized thing, but I saw the link in the
In the Skype chat.
in the Skype chat, and that brought me right in there. So now I'm really ticked.
It's all right. It's all right, man.
Shit.
We will get
Here
you
for next
in.
week.
Yeah, we'll get you in for
Anyway.
next week.
Who closed off the deal? Who had the finishing attack? Did anybody?
So who was the finishing? It
Or
was.
give me the cliff notes at least.
We'll give you cliff notes after we go offline.
I'll be writing up another last week on before next week. So
Last week.
Okay.
I got
Catch
you.
up.
All right.
Last week on the Wizard Guys.
Thank you, everybody. We'll be back next week, 8 o'clock Central Time, twitch.tv/Salesforce Yoda. We're still taking donations for the kids. That's bit.ly/DNDF donate. No caps. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.
Night.
Shit.